Welcome everyone to Americana 2009. I'd like to welcome my next guest, Mr. John Gocek, President of Sofame. Thank you very much for taking this time today.
Thanks, Michael. It's a pleasure.
So first of all, tell me all about your company's products and services.
Sure. Sofame Technologies manufactures in Montreal custom-engineered industrial hot water heating and heat recovery equipment. So we make hot water, and we do it at efficiency rates of 94 to 99%. That's what makes our technology special.
Wow. Tell me a little bit about the actual technology. What is it exactly, and how does it work?
Well, the technology is called direct contact heat recovery, meaning we use water to recover the heat and flue gases of industrial boilers. And the industrial boilers typically are fired with natural gas, meaning the flue gases are quite clean. So when the water is recirculated, because it's a closed loop, the water stays very clean. And when you combust natural gas, you actually produce pure water, H2O. So this water is perfectly useful for going into an industrial process, or we can even use it for showers in a hotel or other uses if it's a single pass through the machine. So we make hot water at 140 degrees and 190 degrees. 190 degrees to heat buildings and 140 degrees for industrial processes, again at 95 to 99% efficiency.
Right. So really the value in this technology is that it's ultimately saves a lot of money. Right. And is, I guess, obviously clean.
Well, when you think that a typical power plant or boiler room is about 65% efficient, if we can get that up to 85, or in our case 95% efficient using direct contact technology, you're saving up to 1/3 of the gas bill of the company.
Right.
And that financial payback is what makes the investment worthwhile.
Well, now tell me about some of the markets your technologies are most active in.
Well, we've sold equipment across Canada for the last 25 years. This is actually the 25th anniversary of Sofame Technologies.
Okay.
The company was started in 1994, and we've sold over 300 systems to industrial users of hot water. So that could be, we have some very big profile projects at the airport here in Montreal,
Yep.
where we're saving them a lot of money in their power plant since they expanded the airport. We increased the efficiency of the power plant up to in the mid 90% range. They save about $3 million a year.
Yeah.
But we also sold a lot of equipment to the industrial laundries, which obviously heat a lot of water to wash clothes. Hospitals heat a lot of water to heat buildings and run their laundries. We've sold an enormous amount of food processing, because when you process food or meat packing, they have to wash down those facilities with hot water.
Yeah.
So there are other applications, cement, cardboard recycling.
Oh, sure
We've sold in many, many different sectors.
So how important is doing business internationally for Sofame?
I think Sofame made the conscious decision 2 years ago to expand into the United States, because the Canadian market obviously is a little smaller, and although we have a cold climate and we require more heating in the winter, the United States has a huge industrial base. So the potential for increasing our sales dramatically really rested in the United States.
Okay.
And the fact that we obviously sell our products in English, the literature is in English, we also sell in French. We have some previous projects in France, because Gaz Métropolitain was a shareholder of Sofame for about 5 years, and we did some joint projects with Gaz de France. So we have a European installed base as well. So we're interested in the European market, and we do sell in France in French, and our literature is in French, and we're interested in the U.S. market, where we're aggressively expanding right now.
Well, I'd like to build on your presence in the U.S. Tell me about some of the challenges that your company faces typically in the United States market.
The challenge in the United States market is I just want to say the engineering world is a very conservative world. So we're introducing a technology that's existed for over 200 years, but it hasn't been used very frequently in North America because energy was very inexpensive. So now that energy is becoming expensive, and we're concerned about the limited life, even if we're talking hundreds of years, of fossil fuels, and then the emphasis on climate change and reducing the emission of greenhouse gases, made Sofame's technology, which is energy efficiency, attractive. And the new administration in the United States completely changed the dynamic, and they're actually spending now, it's been approved by the Obama administration, billions of dollars to invest in industrial energy efficiency. So we've built up a manufacturer's rep force in the U.S. We have 12 reps who cover 20 states so far, and we're aggressively looking for new representatives, which are engineering companies who have an existing customer base, who they can approach to improve the efficiency and help them save money in their power plants. And this new regulations and administration budget that's come out for infrastructure and job creation is going to help us in the United States. It's starting immediately, so it's a perfect timing to be in the U.S.
Right. Now, obviously, the current economic situation is on everybody's mind. How is this situation currently affecting your company, and how do you expect it to affect Sofame?
Well, the economic situation, if you think about the life cycle of a construction project or a new building or even a power plant retrofit, typically for us to close an order takes 6 to 24 months, and it's a very long sales cycle, involves an awful lot of engineering, calculations, site visits, measurements, and then external engineers would review our proposals and give their approval. So we're already facing a long sales cycle, and that's very common in the construction industry and the custom engineered equipment business. And a lot of people are employed in that sector in the United States. Now, what we are seeing in the U.S. is jobs have slowed down and been put on hold. Very few projects have been canceled. And I'm not talking about specifically related to Sofame Technologies, but in general, in the air conditioning business and the construction business, a few high-profile leisure-oriented projects have been canceled, like a new hotel, for example, in Las Vegas, or a casino. When people are cutting back on their spending, those projects are in jeopardy for sure. We sell a lot into the university market, and as you may have seen in the press and the media, university endowments were affected by the stock market decline. So they've also put a lot of projects on hold. Now, luckily, it's not affecting Sofame. So in general, yes, there's a slowdown, and engineering companies, architects, contractors, mechanical contractors are seeing it and feeling it, and they're concerned. But in the case of Sofame, because our products actually save so much money, it's a good investment during hard times because we reduce operating costs. And I think that's going to be our saving grace this year.
Well, given your experience in the U.S. and in Europe, you know, a lot of our listeners are very new to exporting or haven't yet and are about to do so currently. What advice would you offer to them? I have some very heartfelt advice to small companies. Is because you're small, you can entertain personal relationships with your customers. I think it's really important that your customers notice you. That's hard to do from far away. I don't think it's a good time to go into a foreign market during a recession and pretend that you'll have a stronger relationship with the customer than the local businesses. And you know, we're talking about the Buy America Act, for example. We're selling into the United States. You want to know how would that affect Canadian exports or Canadian manufactured goods? A lot of our products include American-sourced material, and we have to prove that the source of the blowers and the pumps and even the sheet metal at times was in the United States, and you get a certificate at the border, manufacture the product here and ship it back, and you have to prove the American content. So I don't think it's a time to think that you can spend money and time, maybe a year or two, and you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars trying to develop a virgin market where you're not known. I think it's important to stick with the people who know you, and if you have a good product, sell it at home first before thinking that the foreign market is going to be very receptive. That's my advice in these times. Well, John, thank you very much and best of luck.
Thank you very much.